we can starting now.
Okay, for sure. But can I ask how is the flow going to be? Is it going to be a Q&A site, or do I have to present something?
Yep. I want to co-host to Mr. Ivan. Maybe you share the information about your institution, yeah.
Okay, sure. No problem at all.
And have the Miss Jasmine. Okay, Miss Jasmine, maybe please you're starting about this event.
Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Ivan. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, Jasmine.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, I can hear you.
Maybe it's not clearly.
Hello, good afternoon. Okay.
Yep, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Maybe my signal. I will look for a better place with a better signal.
All right.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Hello, welcome to our info session today. So today, Mr. Ivan will be sharing with us about University of Europe. So if any of you have any question, you can put it on the chat. And by the end of the presentation, Mr. Ivan will try to answer your question. Mr. Ivan, you can start sharing your screen.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jasmine, for the warm introduction. Okay. It is fantastic to be here today to share about the opportunities available over at the University of Europe for Applied Sciences. And I'll be just sharing my screen for a bit. Just give me one moment. Excellent. Can you see my screen, by the way?
Yes, Mr. Ivan.
Okay, fantastic. So yes, as you have shared, Jasmine, so we are the University of Europe for Applied Sciences. We are one of a European universities, which is based in Germany. So over in Germany, we have about 4 campuses across the country itself. It's a fantastic country and an exciting country for international students to come over to study, to experience the culture, and also to get a world-class education as well. Now, Germany has been known to be like one of the biggest economic country over in Europe and also globally as well, which is why this has actually provided the opportunities for a number of international students coming from all over the world to come over to study in the country itself. Particularly over in Indonesia, what we are seeing is that there are many students coming from the country itself over to Germany to actually continue their studies, either in the undergraduate side, getting a degree or a master's degree as well. So as shared earlier, we are located in 4 campuses, or 4 cities to be exact. So we are based over in Berlin, Hamburg, Iserlohn, and about 25 minutes away from Berlin, we have a smart city called Potsdam. So it's basically where our innovation hub is. The idea is that because we do have a number of exciting programs in the fields of IT, so most of the programs will be run over there. So that's why we are based there, because we want our students not to just experience the studies inside of classes, but also outside of classes. It's all our campuses are nearby to a number of organizations, a number of centers and partners in which we work with, so that the students can get the best education exposure. So which is why we are right now, we do have about 105 plus nationalities globally studying with us. It is a really exciting thing for us because we want to welcome more different kinds of nationalities. We do have international students who are studying with us, whereby they actually are studying either their bachelor's program or even their master's program as well. So what we do is we work with about 60 over universities globally as well. This is to provide the opportunity for students to come over and also to conduct either like semester abroad or summer programs or some form of executive education courses and so forth. So this is why we work with a number of institutes globally as well. Right now, we have about 5,000 students at the moment, and we are looking to actually see this growing very soon as well. So we do have about 46 study programs and growing, and this is supported by ATO professors which are well experienced in the industry. And also we have about 200 staff members which are supporting the students' welfare and also the students' academic side in order to support them so that they actually can graduate and also like in a way get a really good degree program. All right. So as a University of Applied Science, what's interesting is that we are one of the handful of universities as a private German university that is state accredited. So what this means is that our degree programs, which are taught with us, are almost all, in this case, is the exact same quality as is issued out by a pure public German university. So not many private universities over in Germany can say that. So we are one of the few universities and we are state accredited, and these are our respective certifications and also associations we work with to ensure that the quality of the education and also the certification issued out is 100% pure world class. So that is what we offer. That is what we are actually looking forward to provide this to more and more aspiring students. So we have been around for quite some time already. We are relatively quite young, so to speak, in the European side. We are about 20 over years old at the moment. But what's exciting is that we have been getting a number of recognitions in terms of the top programs in certain cities, one of the top ranking universities when it comes to certain programs in Europe itself, and also in private universities, and also one of the top universities where we ensure that our students get the best education experience. So this is called international mobility and also like in a way student friendliness, so to speak. So as an international student, you would need that support. You would need the kind of warm kind of gesture and also the holistic kind of providers by the university itself to ensure that you don't just actually come over, just study and then move on. You would need the adequate support in terms of additional curriculum classes, internships, workshops, career fairs, and so forth. So this is something in which we are committed, and this is what we offer. And these are just some of the awards which are highlighting on what we have done before. As a University of Applied Science, what's interesting is that it's not a research university. So a research university, commonly they focus on just research stuff and theory parts of the education. On our end, as an applied science, we have to be dedicated to ensure that the programs are taught not just on the academic end, but also on the practical side as well. So this is why our programs consist of not just education inside of class, it also consists of education where students will be exposed to organizations we work with. We right now work with well over 160 organizations within Germany and also globally as well. These organizations are super big companies such as Google, Amazon, Tesla, Deutsche Bank, even sports clubs like Bayern Munich or Borussia Dortmund, and even the automotive companies such as BMW, Volkswagen, and so forth. So the reason why we work with a number of these companies is that because we want to provide that kind of experience where students, once they are studying with us, they are able to secure a full-time job before they graduate, at least one semester before they graduate. So right now, about 94% of our students are able to secure a full-time job after they graduate within 12 months, but we are at about 55 to 60% of students getting at least one full-time offer letter 3 months before they graduate. So we want to ensure that our students get really good jobs and get really good skills as well, because that's the whole reasoning as an applied science university, because we want the students to get a really good, successful career. So that's the whole idea behind it. And moving forward, when it comes to Germany itself, it is a growing country where it's inviting more and more students to come in. Why is this? Because we have a number of opportunities as an international student to enjoy and benefit from. One of the things in which students are able to enjoy is that when you are studying over in Germany, you have the opportunity to stay for at least another 1.5 years. In this case, 18 months. So this is called a post-study work visa after your course completion. So if at all you are looking to actually work in a fantastic country, or you look to settle down over there, this is one of the methods to move forward with. It is also the biggest economic nation over in Europe. At the same time, it's the 4th largest in the world. So what does this mean is that it's home to many organizations, big organizations globally, and there are a lot of career happenings, a lot of projects, internships, a lot of workshops which always occur within the education side of it. So this provides really, really good chance for students to secure something really good for their career path. So at the same time, what's interesting is that the students are also able to work about 120 full days or 240 half days in a year. So on average, we're looking about 20, 30 hours per week. So this is between the arrangements between your employees and also the employers over there. So this is why there are plenty of part-time jobs consisting in the hospitality side, the F&B side, the admission side, IT side as well, which are growing and are in demand. So there's a number of really, really good choices for international students to pick from. And so what's also interesting is that other than fact, it's a very safe country to actually study. It's one of the most affordable countries to actually consider in order to come and complete your studies. So it's relatively about 30 to 40% more affordable compared to major cities as a study destination, such as over in UK or in Australia, or even in the US as well. So what's highlighted over here is a usual example of what an international student would experience. Definitely over at UE, you would actually meet people from all over the world. Again, 100 over nationalities which are there. You generate really good network. You meet people from different cultures. You make really good friendships. And then at the same time, it's also an excellent country to actually enjoy such historic backgrounds and cultural parts. So there's a lot of festivities. Of course, COVID has actually reduced the festivities, but Germany itself is a country where there's a number of festivities and so forth. So as an international student, you really enjoy this because you don't just study, but you also get really good experience from the destination where you're heading to or where you're studying at. So it's known to have like one of the best universities across globally as well. There are many, many really good education destinations, such as UE as well, which we are committed to actually ensure that we provide the highest quality of education or higher education for this matter. At the same time, students can actually work part-time as well. So we are looking at about, on average, about 8 euros to 14 euros on an hourly basis. And also you would have a fantastic campus environment as well. So generally, as an international student, probably your living fees and all would be about 800, 950 euros on average, but most of the students would actually manage to sustain a little bit lower. Why is that? It's because it's very much an affordable country, even though we are located in city centers. Or the groceries, for instance, the place where you're staying, they aren't as expensive as other major cities. So this is where students are able to save a little. At the same time, they're also able to work and also to sustain themselves on a monthly basis as well. So while actually going about in the country itself, the road systems are fantastic. It's very easy for students to travel from one place to another as well. So it's very convenient. so to speak, for students to actually go to classes and then come back and then in their own time do the leisures and study and also work as well. So these are some of the international student experience of a common international student which is studying over at UE. So what are the programs in which we offer? We have 4 major faculties. We have the business faculty, the arts and design, tech and data, and also sports and event management as well. So we do have programs in the foundation year, bachelor's program, and our master's as well. What's interesting is that over in Germany, right? Like for instance, over in Indonesia, so we actually finish our school at Sekolah Menengah Atas SMA, right? We finish at year 12. So after year 12, and then you can go towards a degree program. But over in Germany, their high school finished at 13th year. So in order to enroll into the public university, you need a 13-year qualification. So this is something which we do offer the option for students who would like to actually study in the public university, but they do not have that qualification. So what we do is we provide them the opportunity to study the foundation year with us, at least for 9 months, and then they're able to be qualified in order to enroll into the public university, either of their choice or any of our partner public universities as well. So the foundation year is called the student colleague. So a student colleague is basically the pathway itself for you to enroll again into the public university. You cannot actually enroll with a year 12 qualification or even with A levels as well. Only minimal public universities accepted. Other universities or majority of the universities over in Germany, they would very much like a student college qualification, and then the international student can come over to study in that university for that matter. So in order to make it a little bit easier and convenient for our students who have decided they like to enroll into a public university and they want to be almost guaranteed a spot over in the public university, we work with 2 public universities called Medialheim University of Applied Sciences and South Westphalia University of Applied Sciences, in order to ensure that at least the students wouldn't have the challenge or the difficulty to not secure an enrollment spot. Because ideally, to join in a public university over in Germany, although it's tuition free, it's cost free, but it's limited to the number of seats offered for international students. So on average, we're looking at about 10 to 15% of the seats are allocated for public university for that matter. So since it's quite challenging, we do understand that, but we want to actually provide the best alternative, the best pathway for our students as well. So we do have the student colleague in the fields of business and also the technical part. So if at all you're interested to do engineering in the public university, you go through the technical stream. If at all you're interested to do business or any commerce programs or economics programs, you can go through the business pathway. Because at the end, there's 5 pathways in total: business, engineering, medical, arts and humanity, and there's another one. So altogether about 5 pathways, and students would have to actually select the pathway in order to enroll into the public university prior to that. Now, so in order to overcome this challenge right now, right? Whereas like you need a 13-year to actually enroll into a public university in Germany. We understand because most of our international students, most of our students, ideally, they have a year 12 qualification just after high school. So what we offer is, what we provide is the opportunity to directly enroll into our degree program with a year 12 qualification. So you do not need the student colleague actually. So we have the programs in the field of, again, business, IT, arts and design, and also sports and media event management. So these are just some of the programs highlighted over there in our bachelor's end. As you can see, we have the bachelor's in business and management studies. If at all you want a combination of IT and also business, we have digital business and data sciences. If at all you really would like to actually venture into events management or public communication, you can consider sports and event management. Or even if at all you like to actually go towards cybersecurity or networking side, you can actually consider our software engineering program as well. So these are all very interesting programs which are actually increasing in demand. The reason why it's increasing in demand is because in the careers end, they are requiring more and more professionals from IT background or even the business background to join the workforce over there. And at the same time as well, we are actually quite popular in the arts and design field too. So we have programs in the field of, we have programs in film and motion design, game design, communication design, illustration, photography, and a couple of other interesting programs such as UI, UX design, and also digital product management as well. So our arts and design faculty is quite popular because the reason is the professors that actually teaches these programs, they are considerably like mini celebrities over there. So a lot of students, particularly from Europe and also all parts of the world, would come to actually study illustration or study in photography with us for the matter, or even like in emerging kind of trends such as game designs. So these programs are all integrated with 20 weeks of internship, either that or probably the students will have the chance to actually study abroad for one semester. But most of the time as an international student, you will probably need to actually either do projects and at the same time conduct internships. So in total, you'll be conducting about 20 weeks of internships. So that's that's probably about 2 to 3 months, so to speak, about 4 months of internships, which is fine because we will be assisting you in terms of finding a place for you. And you do not need to worry about not securing something because our academics end will ensure that you get at least the internship experience too, through other means. All right. All right, so that's our bachelor's program. So this is our master's program. So in order to accommodate to the business side and also the IT side, we also have the programs in the field of data science, master's in data science, master's in software engineering. We do have our MBA program, which is a little bit unique because it's 1 year. And we have our corporate management program and finance and management program as well. So these are some of the options in the business end and also the IT end, respectively, for students to select if at all they want to pursue a postgraduate program or a master's program over in Germany. At the same time, we also have a master's in international sports and event management and certain programs in the field of arts and design as well to provide an additional qualification other than the bachelor's, such as visual experience design, media spaces, photography, innovation design, management, and also creative computing. So our master's in innovation design management is quite popular. It's really growing within countries such as Indonesia as well. So the reason behind it is because arts and design students don't just get the exposure of the artistic side, you also get the exposure of business and IT as well. So as a master's international student, if you're doing the postgraduate side, you will be fully occupied with not just classes, but also a lot of group projects, case studies, international company training, workshops, career fairs, and even some kind of certain projects, so to speak, which are provided by the organizations we work with over to the student to conduct. So these are all something in which the students will benefit from because they're able to build their skills, they're able to get the experience, and when they want to actually go and get a job later on, it'll be easier because they can show over the CV that they have the experience already. Of course, as a university, we would like to provide the best kind of means for students to come over to study with us. This is where we offer scholarships as well for our respective programs, and it can go up to 30% as well if at all the student has the adequate grades. And we ensure that at least most of our students, or if not all our students, get a form of scholarship. So what's interesting over in Germany is that as the country itself, they have a number of scholarship providers. So these scholarships, right, they don't just focus on paying the tuition fees of the programs. They also provide some sort of monthly kind of just supporting amount, like a few €100 for the student in order for the students to sustain themselves on a monthly basis. So we have those scholarships in place already. We are more than happy to actually share this over with the students and assist the students in terms of applying for this scholarship, so to speak. So some of these scholarship providers are called Deutschland Stipendium and also DART as well. They do offer these kind of scholarships. So again, it's either for monthly support for the students to sustain on a monthly basis, or is to cover the tuition fees as well. So they have these kinds of scholarship, which are provided. So one of the benefits in terms of like, or what we can say is the benefits in terms of studying OAU is that our professors, as applied science universities, we need to ensure that our professors have 15 to 20 years of working experience. So working experience is really important because when you enter a classroom, you will be getting those kinds of important kind of sharing from a working professional who are actually working in top management before in companies. So these are something very important. And also at the same time, it's one of the top ranked universities in our business faculty. Also, our arts and design faculties are fantastic as well. The opportunity here is that you do not need a 13-year to go through a German, to get a German degree, so to speak. You can get a bachelor's degree in Germany with a 12-year qualification already. So after your SMA, you can directly enroll. We work with a number of university partners globally, and also again 160 organizations within Germany and also globally as well, to provide the opportunity for students to get the best kinds of education as possible from an applied science university. And at the same time, the students will not require to conduct the programs in German because the programs are all taught in English, by the way. And the entry requirements is not as high in comparison towards UK universities, Australian universities, or even the US universities. So we are so confident that we can provide the best kinds of education to our students up until the fact that we have this initiative called the UE Job Guarantee Program. It's basically where if at all you do not get a job within 12 months after your graduation, both in your bachelor's or your master's program, we will provide you a top-up master's for free, ideally. So this is something where we are committed because we want to increase our percentage of 94% of students getting a job within 12 months to 100%. So we are committed to do this starting this year as well. And we want to share this to really aspiring students out there who want to come to a fantastic country to study and to get a really, really good career opportunity right after that. So this is just to highlight the entry requirements and the application process as well. Do not worry, the team is here to assist you when it comes to the application. We just require your qualifications, your personal details. What's important is that when it comes to the language requirement, you do not need IELTS 6.0 and so forth. We do accept IELTS 5.5. Other forms of English language proficiency tests such as Pearson's, TOEFL, Duolingo, we do accept it. If you have come from an English background, meaning you studied in English before, you just have to show that you have done your respective, either high school or respective bachelor's program in English, and you can actually come over, you could use that as a method of qualification for you to come over to study with us. And the key fact about actually applying to a common German university is that you need to provide a motivation letter, which is a statement of purpose, and you need to provide us a CV as well, which is your resume. So the statement of purpose is just to highlight on why would you select Germany as a country to come over to study, why this particular university, why this program, and what are you going to do after you finish the program. So this is important for not just the university's application process, but also for the student visa later on. And at the same time, CV is a must as well. It's just to highlight what has been your latest activities. So even though you do not have working experience, that's fine. You just have to show on your latest work projects of which you have done before, or any part-time jobs in which you have done. Just put it over in the CV. This is something we do accept, right? So part of the application process also consists of a online test, or let's just say a general knowledge test. It's called the Hochgriff test. So for the bachelor side, we have a Hochgriff test, which is about 1 hour, 45 minutes. And then in the business side, and about 45 minutes for the arts and design. So business, IT, sports, and event management, 1 hour, 45 minutes. Whereas for the arts and design program, 45 minutes, including students to provide us portfolios, meaning 15 to 20 designs sub-projects. So again, we are here to actually guide you through the application process on what is needed in order to enroll to our programs over at the University of Europe for Applied Sciences, Germany. So our postgraduate side, you do not need those tests. There may be interviews for certain programs. This interview basically consists of the student and also the professor or the head of faculty. So ideally we want this student to be the right student to come over, because, for instance, if the student does not have that, let's just say that's right kind of entry qualifications to sustain or to succeed in the program, it's going to be challenging for the student then. So we want to ensure that these students are making the best decisions. So this is why we have the interview session as well. And also, once this flow is done, of course, we will provide the usual offer letter and the admissions letter and so forth in order to get you on board to study with us. So this is just to highlight like the tuition fees which you have. Again, as a private university, of course, there's an investment for the tuition fee, but what you'll be investing is not just your academic studies, only not just a pure German certification. You are going to invest in terms of the support of the curriculum. You are going to invest in terms of the education experience, where there's extra classes, there's extra kind of services which are involved in the university itself, because we have a career center which are committed to ensure that students, they don't just get very good internships, they don't just get good projects, they don't just get like good part-time jobs, but also like provide them the real platform, so to speak, to get a really good full-time job while they are studying or once they've graduated. So all of these things are part of the fee as well. So we have our business programs, which is at 11,340 euros per year, including the sports and media event. Our arts and design programs in the bachelor's end is 12,110 euros per year. And for postgraduate side, it ranges from 12,600 to 17,500 euros. So our MBA is a standalone program, is 17,500 euros for the whole year. But again, you do have the scholarships and so forth in place. And if you are opting to actually consider to study in a public university, but you do not have that 13-year qualification, this is where the student colleague will come in, and the student colleague will provide you that qualification to enroll into the public university. It's at 11,900 euros for the program. So other than the entry requirements and the process of applying, of course, we will need to consider the visa requirement as well. So what's interesting in the visa requirement is that you will need to provide all the details and all the qualifications and the respective admissions letter as per issued by the university over while applying for it. Again, our team is here to guide you every step of the way. It's a process. It's again not a one-time thing. It's a process where it may take some time. But what, as a student, you will need to know is that you need to provide all the original copies, the transcripts of your latest qualifications, your personal details as well. Admissions letter will be issued by the university over to you. And what's interesting is that on the financial side, you will need to show that you have let's just say some amount to actually cover for 1 year while you are in Germany. So we have this thing called a German block bank account. So what it means is that you as a student, you need to actually open up a bank account, a pure German bank account, right? It cannot be a local bank. It has to be a pure German bank account where you need to put in some amount. We are looking at 10,332 euros to show to the embassy while applying for the visa, to show that you at least have 1 year's sustenance fees to actually survive over in Germany for 1 year, at least for 12 months. So every month, the block bank account will issue 862 euros over to you. So that's one thing in which, again, the team is there to assist you. We are here to explain further. And at the same time, you also need to get a health insurance as well. So public health insurance, it ranges from 30 to 50 euros on a monthly basis. You will need that. And those are the sufficient documents which are required to actually apply for a visa. So of course, this is inclusive of all the other relevant documentations in which you shared over at the university's end, like proof of language proficiency, motivation letter, CV, and also usually the average fee for visa is 75 euros. So they need to show that at least you made the payment of 75 euros to the embassy. So that's just the requirements for an international student to actually attain the visa. So these are some of the general information over at the University of Europe for Applied Sciences, and also about studying over in Germany. Again, it's an excellent country to come over. It's a really, really good time for you to consider this country, Germany, as a place to continue your higher education, both either in the bachelor side or the postgraduate side. Because what happens after that, the opportunities are there. We are looking for more and more talents, more and more aspiring students to come over so that they can actually continue working over there as well. So yeah, so that's about it on my end. We can open up to questions and answers, if at all there is.
Yes. Teman-teman yang punya pertanyaan boleh ditaruh di kolom chat, pakai bahasa Indonesia juga boleh. Nanti aku yang coba tanyakan teman Aivan. If there's any question, you guys can type it on the chat. Mr. Ivan will try to answer your question. Oke, Ayasha, ada pertanyaan? Ayasha Kipkan?
Can I also ask, speak to, and not do
Yes.
Yes,
Sure.
okay.
Yeah. I would like to ask regarding about the getting a job. Yeah.
Okay.
After the 1 year studying there.
Okay.
Is it the job? Is it determined based on your career choice, or is it determined afterwards?
All right. So that's a good question, because it works both ends. Most of the time, it will be based on what you have studied. So for instance, you've done business, for an example, most of the time you go to a business kind of work. Or even like IT programs, most of the time you will actually pursue the IT industry or companies that are actually providing the services. But at the same time, it's quite flexible as well. We do have cases whereby students have graduated, but they went into a different field. They ventured into a different field. So that is possible as well.
Okay. Thank you, Mr.
No worries. Yes, you can. So we have another question in the chat by Al Patrio Kamal. So he asked, yes, there's the age of 33. Can you apply for the undergraduate student college? Yes, you can. You can actually apply for either the undergrad or the student college because it's offered currently over. So the idea behind the student college again is to actually go to a public university to study the bachelor's program. So you can either do that to study in a public university, or you can actually do the 3 years in a private German university, or even in a UNI.
Okay, so there is no age limit for the undergraduate.
Yes, technically there isn't any age.
Oke, jadi nggak ada batasan usianya ya, boleh mendaftar seperti itu. Is there any other question, you guys? We still have time.
I want to ask a question.
Yep, sure.
How do we get the part-time work?
Okay, so what's interesting is that one of the ways in which as international students can get part-time work is within the campus environment or where they are living, right? There are a number of part-time job opportunities around. So they can search for themselves, or there are a few job portals in which our career center will share it over to our student. This is for either like part-time jobs for students and also full-time jobs for students who have completed their studies. So our career center is there to provide this information and to assist the students in terms of applying for these part-time jobs or even the full-time job later on. So these are two of the common ways in which students will find for jobs. But most of the time, right, to be honest, an international student, when they find out the advertising over, because you can just do a quick search online, like part-time jobs in Berlin, part-time jobs in Hamburg, for an example. If you do that, you can actually apply, and within a week or within some time, you actually can go for the interview, and if at all it matches, then you can start working already. So this is the experience. It's not hard to get a part-time job. In fact, there are many part-time openings which are available in the country itself or in the city, and they are requiring more and more students to come in order to at least vote for this. So yeah.
Thank you for answering my question, Mr. Ivan.
No worries, Mr. Malik.
Okay, we still have time for one more question. If there is any question, teman-teman boleh tulis di kolom chat. Pakai bahasa Indonesia juga boleh.
Yep. Just to follow up with the question asked about the age limit, right? So there isn't any age limit.
Oke, jadi nggak ada batasan usia ya, tanpa batasan usia. Ada pertanyaan lagi? Itu di direct message. Okay, I get a question in the direct message.
Sure.
From Miftahul Rizki. He asked if there is any possibility to get a scholarship even the grade is below an average, or is there any requirement? Is there any grade requirement for the scholarship?
So in order to get the full scholarship, there is a grade requirement, like up to 30% and so forth. But all our students will get at least 10 to 15% of scholarship, which are provided in the program itself. And at the same time, once they're over there, if they do relatively well per semester, right, we can provide them additional scholarship as well. So this is something in which, other than the academic side, over the university, if they are very active in the university itself, we can provide further scholarship opportunities. The thing is, they have to be there in the university itself. And again, at the same time, there are many kinds of websites and scholarship services providers which are available in the country for the student to actually apply for, like for exchange student or that. These scholarships, again, they don't just focus on covering the cost of the tuition fees, but they also focus on sustaining the student, like giving like an allowance, a monthly allowance to the student, so for them to sustain on a monthly basis. So these are, again, some of the scholarship offerings in which our student services and the career centers are more than happy to share this information over and to assist the students.
Okay, I hope that answered your question. And there's another question in the direct message about the portfolio for the design degree.
Yep.
If I want to apply for the game design degree,
okay,
what kind of portfolio do I need to make?
So we have that requirement. I will be sharing it over. So what as a student, you just need to notice that the portfolio in which we are looking at is just 15 to 20 kinds of projects or drawings you have done before. So it could be like something like you've designed before, like in a manner of drawing, or you have actually designed something online. So 15 or 20 of those examples, or 15 or 20 of those photos and the stories behind it. This is something in which we want as the arts and design faculty, the professors over there, they just want to see this. So we have examples already in place for the students. So the students can actually just refer to these examples, and then they can actually share with us the portfolio over. I hope
Okay,
that,
thank you so
yeah,
much, Mr.
I hope
Yeah,
that
yeah.
answers the question.
Okay, I have that answered the question as well. Okay, since we are running out of time, thank you so much, Mr. Ivan. Maybe you can share with us if there's any question, which any contact details that they can
Yep. So if you can
go
see,
for further inquiries. Okay.
yes, for sure. So yes, again, the team over here, the team at Euro Academics are here to actually assist every student. And if at all you have any questions, you can contact me as well. My email is seen over in the screen over here. It's ivan.sridevan@ue-germany.com. You can always email me if you like, or if at all you like to just WhatsApp me or give me a call. This is my number. So, yep, I'll be more than happy to answer your questions.
Oke, jadi buat teman-teman yang masih ada pertanyaan, boleh langsung di email aja ke emailnya Mr. Ivan atau di nomor teleponnya Mr. Ivan sudah ada di kolom chat, teman-teman bisa lihat dan nanti bisa tanya langsung kalau misalnya ada pertanyaan. So if you guys have any further inquiries or questions, you can go ahead to the email or Mr. Ivan's number on the chat. And thank you so much, Mr. Ivan, for your time and for the information. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining our meeting today. I hope this could give you guys more information about studying in Germany. And if you guys interested, you can go ahead to University of Europe for Applied Science website or to Mr. Ivan's email and contact number for further inquiries. Thank you so much, Mr. Ivan, for today.
No worries, no worries. Thank you so much for setting up the session. Looking forward to welcoming students on board. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good day, everyone.
Have a good day. Thank you. Bye.